Hey everybody, this is Andrew. Recently I was in a local thrift shop and found this stereo by Zenith. They call it the Wedge, and it was just kind of a really unique design. I hadn't ever seen one before, so it really grabbed my attention. I thought it might be kind of fun to take it home, check it out, see if I can fix it up, and I thought I'd throw a camera on it and show you a little bit about it. Anyways, it's just a cool looking stereo. It's got all the features you would expect from something from around the 70s. When I got it home and checking it out, I plugged it in. I just plugged a little speaker into it and thought I'd go through it and see if it works. I just really kind of like the look of it. One thing that really caught my attention was the 8-track recorder, and I thought that might be kind of fun to play around with. Although I'd played with an 8-track player before, I'd never really messed with a recorder. Anyways, turntable, as you can see, has just got dirt all over it. And there's the anti-skate settings. It's got a speaker switch. You can put up to 4 speakers on there. Anyways, when I got it home, the stereo seems to work okay on it. I just hooked up a little speaker to it, and all the controls seem to work. The balance, the bass, treble. It's got this unique feature, this FM mute, where it mutes the static in between stations. That was really cool, and that appeared to work. The tuner, it's got a really cool look to it. Kind of a nice tuning meter, looks pretty cool. FM stereo light. But anyways, the stereo all seems to work good. As expected, the turntable appears to be frozen up. I've repaired one of these before, and the lubrication on it just had turned to a glue, so I kind of expected that, but we'll take that apart in a bit. Anyways, we'll see if this 8-track player will work at all. And we'll see if Herb Albert will sing to us, but I didn't get anything out of it. It's got power to it, but fast forward doesn't work. The program button does change the heads, so we'll have to take that apart and see what's going on with it. We'll see if George Carlin will do any better for us. But I didn't put audio of that, but wasn't getting anything out of it anyways. So let's go ahead and take a look at this record player, and we'll go ahead and just pull the trim pieces off. Get the C-clip removed, and then I'm going to use just some 3-in-1 penetrating oil. Let it sit there for a little bit. I'll time-lapse this, of course, and just kind of want to gently work this. I did eventually have to use a little bit of heat to loosen that lubrication up, but after a little bit, just be real careful, and you can eventually work that loose off of there. And there you go. So we'll have to clean that up and lubricate it really good. The trim piece, a little bit of double-sided tape, totally gone now. We'll have to attach that again. The gear mechanism in here's got the same problem. It's just completely frozen up. Again, take the C-clip off, a little bit of penetrating oil. This one I did have to use heat on. I just used an old soldering iron, and it took a little bit to get this off. But, you know, like everything, you can't be in much of a hurry. You got to be patient with it. But eventually, it loosens up and comes off. And we'll just have to clean the old lubrication off of there and redo it. I'm just going to give it a quick cleaning here and give it a try. So that freed it up, so now it can spin. I'll come back to that in just a little bit. But we need to take a look at that 8-track player, and so we'll go ahead and pull the bottom cover off here. There's 8 or 10 or 12 screws on the bottom, and that just comes right off. All in all, in pretty good shape in here, and just there's a bezel on the front we needed to pull off, and then just a handful of screws that need to come out. And one kind of weird thing is this 8-track player is internal, but these wires kind of thread around through the back and then plug into the rear of the console. So we'll remove those, undo the power cable, and then we just need to kind of undo all the cabling harnesses in here and kind of free that all up. I wonder if they'd use this 8-track player in other devices. Yeah, we'll just pull it out the front here and take a quick look at it and see if we can see what's going on with it. Anyways, overall it looked like it was in good condition, but I'm going to plug some power into it externally here and see if I can see anything wrong with it, see what's going on. And same thing, I wasn't able to tell. I just was getting absolutely nothing out of it. I suspect it was probably a bad belt at this point. So we need to pull apart this shroud on the back here. A couple screws and it just lifts off. And as you can see here, that belt is just all wrapped around the bracket. Fairly typical of these types of devices. So we'll have to do a quick measurement and get a new belt ordered. I was able to find one pretty close from studiosoundelectronics.com. A few days later I got the new belt, and fairly easy to replace. Just pull the bracket off. A couple of screws for that. And we'll put the new belt on. Fairly easy to do. And we'll give it a quick try. It looks like that probably will do it. Hopefully that's all that's wrong with it. We'll see. And put the bracket back on. And while I'm in here, I'm going to go ahead and just clean the read-write heads, and nothing too much. It was in pretty good condition overall. Put the screws back in and we'll give it a shot. Anyways, we'll see if Herb Alpert will play now, and looks like it sounds good. These tapes were actually not in very good shape, so any of the distortion you hear is more the tape than it is the player. We'll give George Carlin a try. Sounds good. Again, this tape as well. I think this tape broke on me not shortly after I recorded it, so that these tapes were not in very good shape.
In my house, yours too. It's back. We're all trapped. 50.
So all in all, looks good. At this point I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the electronics. Everything looks good to me in here. A true professional would have recapped this board probably, but that's beyond the scope of what I'm going to do with it. And really what I wanted to do was just get everything tore apart out of it and give it just a really good thorough cleaning. This record changer is BSR, and I've had the same problem with another one, that just that lubrication over all the years just turns into a glue. So if you get one that's not turning, you can usually gently pull it apart and re-lubricate it. To re-lubricate it, I used Super Lube. You can get that from Harbor Freight. That was recommended to me by several individuals. So we'll just apply some new lubrication here. I'm not going to tear the mechanism apart and clean every little piece on it. I may just do more damage to it than it's worth. But we'll put that all back on. It seems to turn all freely now. I did lubricate all the moving parts that I could find. And we'll put the turntable back together. C-clip back on. As for the rest of the machine, it all was in fairly good condition, other than just, dirty and dusty. So I spent a little bit of time just cleaning it up really good. I didn't really pull apart any of the rest of the machine. Sometimes you just create work for yourself when you do that. Just clean it up as best we can, all the little nooks and crannies, and get it all put together, and then see how it goes. Perfect. One thing I was really interested in testing and playing around with was the 8-track recorder. So I got on eBay and bought some old stock, realistic, blank 8-track tapes. Anyways, to record, when you put the tape in, you basically just hold the record button down and insert the tape. Use the pause button so it doesn't immediately start recording. But then you just select your sound source. In this case, I've got phono, and hit the pause button and just let it go. We'll run through a few records here and see if the changer works. And want to adjust the record levels of the 8-track using the needles. We'll go ahead and switch over to the next record and make sure that's all working properly. Perfect. So I'm just going to flip through a couple of records here and looks like it's working perfectly. So at this point I'll switch over to FM stereo. Got a little Dave Ramsey going on.
Y'all will do anything.
And basically I'm just still recording with the 8-track tape. Just going through all the paces here, make sure it works good. And I'll turn the FM mute on. You can kind of tell that the distortion between channels is gone. I thought that's a pretty cool feature.
Okay, very cool. Well, thanks for coming in with them, guys.
And we'll flip over to AM. And we'll go ahead and do a playback of that and see how it works. And all in all, it seems to work pretty good. I didn't show it on the video, but I did plug in my Atari ST to the left mic input, and I was able to record that as I showed in the beginning. Just played back some demos and just kind of nerding out, thinking it was pretty cool. So believe it or not, it's been about a year since I did this project. I'm just now getting to the voiceover for the video, and this stereo has seen quite a bit of use over the last year. We've really enjoyed playing old 8-track tapes on it, old records, and listening to the stereo. I did eventually pick up some original Zenith speakers that would have came with this back in the 70s when it was released, and they work great and they look good. Overall, I had a really great time doing a little bit of restore work on this particular stereo, and been super happy with it. So if you see these out in the real world, don't be afraid to pick them up and give it a try. I hope you found this video helpful. Stay tuned. I've got more videos coming. I got some more Atari stuff coming up, and again, thanks for watching. Bye.